You know that feeling when you get paid and for about 48 hours you feel rich? You treat yourself. You eat out. You buy something you've been eyeing for weeks. Maybe you fill up your gas tank all the way instead of stopping at $20. You feel good. You feel like you finally made it. Like, this is the month everything changes. This is the month you're going to be smart with it. This is the month you start saving. And then by day 5, you're checking your bank account like, wait, where did it all go? You open the app, you scroll through the transactions, and every single one makes sense individually. But together they make no sense at all. $40 here, 15 there, a subscription you forgot about, a delivery order you don't even remember placing, a random charge from a store you walked into for 5 minutes 3 days ago. And you do this every single month. Same paycheck, same cycle, same confusion, same broke. Every month you tell yourself next month will be different, and every month it's not. I did this for years, and I didn't understand why until I realized I had 5 specific habits that were designed to keep me poor. Not by the system, not by the economy, by me. I was sabotaging myself and smiling while doing it. So let me walk you through all 5. And be honest with yourself while you listen, because I guarantee at least 3 of these are going to feel like a personal attack. That's how I know they're working. Habit number 1. I spent money to fix my mood. This is the one nobody wants to admit. You had a bad day at work, so you order food. You're stressed, so you buy something online. You're bored, so you go to the mall. You're sad, so you treat yourself. You're happy, so you celebrate. You're anxious, so you scroll through Amazon at midnight and add things to your cart like you're playing a video game. And here's the trick your brain plays on you. In that moment, it works. You feel a little hit of dopamine, a little rush. That package arrives 2 days later, and for about 11 seconds, you feel something. Then, it's just another thing sitting in your room that you don't need, next to the other 14 things you bought the same way. I used to justify this constantly. I work hard, I deserve this. It's only $30. It was on sale. Life is short. You know what else is short? My bank balance. Every single month. Here's what I eventually learned. If you're spending money every time you feel something, you're not treating yourself. You're self-medicating with your debit card. And just like any other coping mechanism, it feels good in the moment and destroys you over time. The fix isn't to never spend money on yourself. The fix is to stop letting your emotions hold your wallet. Before you buy anything, ask yourself one question. Would I buy this if I was in a completely neutral mood? If the answer is no, put your phone down and go drink some water. Seriously, 90% of impulse purchases can be cured by a glass of water and 15 minutes of patience. Habit number 2. I upgraded my lifestyle every time my income went up. This one is sneaky because it feels like progress. You get a raise, and the first thing you do is move to a nicer apartment. You start a side hustle, and suddenly you're eating at restaurants 3 times a week instead of cooking. You get a bonus, and within 48 hours, it's gone because you bought something to celebrate the fact that you made more money. Think about how insane that is. You literally spent the extra money to reward yourself for making extra money. The math isn't mathing. I remember when I first started earning more than I ever had. I thought, this is it. I'm finally going to get ahead. And for one beautiful month, I felt rich. Then, my expenses caught up to my income like a horror movie villain. No matter how fast I ran, it was right behind me. New income, same broke. Just in a slightly nicer apartment. And it's not just big purchases that get you. It's the small ones that scale up without you noticing. When you were making less, you'd think twice about a $15 lunch. Now you don't even blink. You used to compare prices at the grocery store. Now you just toss things in the cart. You used to wait for sales. Now you buy full price because you can. And none of these feel like bad decisions in the moment. That's what makes it so dangerous. Each one feels earned. Each one feels reasonable. But multiply that across 100 small decisions a month, and you've inflated your way right back to zero. There's actually a name for this. It's called lifestyle inflation. And it's the reason why people who earn 6 figures can still be living paycheck to paycheck. Because every time the money goes up, the spending goes up to match it. And you end up in the exact same position as before, just with nicer stuff and the same empty bank account. The people who actually build wealth aren't the ones who earn the most. They're the ones who keep the gap between what they earn and what they spend as wide as possible. When your income goes up, your lifestyle should stay the same for as long as you can stand it. That gap is where freedom lives. Not in a bigger apartment, not in a newer phone, in the gap. I wish someone had grabbed me by the shoulders at 22 and screamed that in my face. Would have saved me years. Habit number 3, I was bleeding money on things I forgot existed. Let me paint you a picture. Right now, at this very moment, there is something charging your card monthly that you haven't used in weeks, maybe months. Could be a streaming service you signed up for to watch one show and never canceled. Could be a gym membership you swore you'd use starting Monday, and that Monday was 7 months ago. Could be a free trial that turned into a paid subscription while you weren't looking. You know how I know. Because when I finally sat down and went through every single recurring charge on my account, I found 11 subscriptions. 11. I was actively using 3 of them. The other 8 were just sitting there, quietly eating my money every month like little digital parasites. And the total? Over $140 a month going absolutely nowhere. That's almost $1,700 a year. Gone. On nothing. On things I forgot I was paying for. I could have gone on a vacation with that money. Instead, it went to a meditation app I opened twice and a streaming service I signed up for to watch one show in 2024. And the worst part is each one felt too small to care about individually. It's only $9.99. It's only $14.99. I'll cancel it next month. But next month never comes, does it? That's exactly how they design it. They make it just cheap enough that you never feel the urgency to cancel. Death by 1,000 small cuts. No single subscription breaks you. But 15 of them stacked on top of each other will slowly drain you dry, and you won't even feel it happening until you look at the total and realize you've been funding someone else's profit margin with money you needed. Go check yours right now. Pause this video. Open your bank app. Scroll through last month. Find every recurring charge. I promise you'll find at least 2 or 3 that you completely forgot about. Cancel them. That's free money you just gave yourself. You're welcome. Habit number 4. I spent money to look like I had money. This is the habit that embarrasses me the most. Because I wasn't just bad with money. I was actively performing wealth I didn't have. Buying clothes I couldn't really afford to impress people I didn't even like. Going to restaurants because everyone in my circle was going and I didn't want to be the one who said I can't afford it. Upgrading my phone every year, not because I needed to, but because having the newest one felt like proof that I was doing well. Let me tell you a story. I had this friend, made less money than me, drove an older car, wore the same rotation of like 6 outfits, never posted about what he bought, never talked about money at all, actually. I used to think he was struggling. Felt bad for him, honestly. Thought maybe things were tight for him. Then one day we were talking and he casually mentioned that he had put away almost $20,000 in savings that year. My jaw hit the floor. I had nothing. Literally nothing saved. Not a dollar. And I was out here buying sneakers I'd wear 3 times and eating at places I had to check my account before ordering. That moment destroyed me in the best way possible. Because I realized I was playing a game I didn't even know I was in. A game where looking rich was more important than being rich. And I was losing because I didn't understand the rules. The scoreboard wasn't my Instagram. It wasn't the shoes on my feet or the phone in my pocket. The scoreboard was my bank account. And my bank account said I was losing badly while performing like I was winning. Here's the truth that most people learn way too late. Wealthy people don't need you to know they're wealthy. Broke people need everyone to think they're not broke. That's the difference. Real money is quiet. It doesn't perform. It doesn't post. It just sits there growing while everyone else is out here spending theirs, trying to prove something to strangers. The day I stopped caring about what my life looked like from the outside and started caring about what it looked like from the inside was the day everything started to change. It's not glamorous. Nobody congratulates you for keeping the same phone for 3 years. Nobody applauds you for cooking at home on a Friday night. But your bank account does. Silently. Every single month. Habit number 5. I treated money like it was infinite. This is the root of all of it. Every habit I just mentioned comes from this one. I never tracked anything, never budgeted, never once sat down and looked at where my money was actually going. I just spent and hoped it would work out, like my finances were a vibes-based system. Just feel your way through it, bro. Trust the universe with your rent money. Spoiler alert. The universe does not pay your bills. That doesn't work. I remember someone asking me, how much do you spend on food per month? And I said, I don't know, maybe like 200. Then I actually checked. It was over 600. $600 on food for one person. I was off by $400 in my own head. Let that sink in. I was walking around with a completely fictional version of my financial life and making real decisions based on imaginary numbers. That's not confidence, that's delusion with a debit card. And I know I'm not alone in this because I've had this conversation with people. You ask them, where does your money go? And they shrug. They genuinely don't know. It's not laziness, it's avoidance. Because looking at the real numbers means admitting that the problem isn't your salary. The problem is you. And that's an uncomfortable conversation to have with yourself at 11 p.m. on a Tuesday. Most people have no idea where their money goes. And I don't mean they're careless. I mean they literally don't know. If I asked you right now, how much did you spend last month on non-essential purchases, could you give me an answer? Not a guess. An actual number. 90% of people can't. And that's exactly why 90% of people are broke. You don't need to be an accountant. You don't need a fancy spreadsheet. You just need to look. That's it. Sit down once a month, look at every transaction, put them in two categories. Things I needed and things I didn't. That's your starting point. No app, no system, just honesty. When I finally did this, it was like someone turned the lights on in a room I'd been stumbling around in for years. I could see everything, the leaks, the waste, the patterns, and once I could see it, I could fix it. You can't fix what you refuse to look at. And most people refuse to look at their money because the truth is uncomfortable. So here's where we are. 5 habits. Emotional spending, lifestyle inflation, subscription bleeding, performing wealth, and treating money like it's infinite. I had all 5 running at the same time, like 5 holes in a boat, and I was sitting there wondering why I was sinking, bailing water out with one hand and drilling new holes with the other. The moment I started plugging those holes, everything changed. Not overnight, not dramatically. There was no moment where I suddenly felt rich, but slowly and consistently, month by month, the account started growing. The stress started fading. And for the first time in my life, I stopped dreading the last week of the month. I stopped doing that thing where you calculate if you can afford groceries before your next paycheck. I stopped avoiding my bank app like it was going to give me bad news. Because for once it wasn't. And the craziest part? I didn't start making more money. Not a single extra dollar. I just stopped wasting what I already had. That's it. That's the whole secret that nobody wants to hear. It's not about earning more. It's about keeping more of what you earn. And you can start doing that today. Right now. Before this video is even over. So let me ask you something. Which of these 5 habits hit the hardest? Which one made you uncomfortable? Because that's the one you need to fix first. Not all 5 at once, just the one that you know deep down is the biggest leak. Fix that one. Just that one. And watch what happens in 30 days. You'll feel it before you see it. That feeling of control, of knowing exactly where your money's going instead of wondering where it went. That feeling is worth more than anything you could buy at 2 a.m. If this video exposed you in a good way, share it with someone who needs to hear this. And drop a comment telling me which habit you're quitting today because I want to know. And if you're new here, subscribe. This is just the beginning. I'll see you in the next one. Stay sharp, stay honest, and stop buying stuff at 2 a.m. Seriously, go to sleep.